This is a video on solving two-step equations. So the difference is we have, instead of one number to get rid of, okay, on each problem there are two that are affecting the x from being alone, right? So here's a -2 and a 7, -6 and +5. Which one do I get rid of first? So I've kind of set them up into be two different types. We have the top two and the bottom two. And the way that I describe them are the top two have no grouping symbols, so there's no parentheses here, there's no parentheses here. There are parentheses here, which kind of group the x and the -2 separate from the 7, and here this fraction bar groups the x and the 5 away from the -6. So if there's a grouping symbol, it kind of protects that number, so you cannot access that number first. Okay, you can't access this number first. Here, you don't want to deal with the variable until you deal with the constant term out here. So we're going to get rid of the constant first here, unless there's a parenthesis or a grouping symbol. So looking at the first problem, we're going to get rid of this -10 first by adding 10. So this is the step, and here are the results. I like to write the step and the results every time. It keeps kind of an organized sequential system. I'm going to drop down this 4x. I know that the 10 that I've added will cancel out the -10 that was there. I have an equal sign that's just going to drop down, and I have -2 plus 10, which is 8. What's left is a one-step equation. Change the color slightly here. We'll go to a darker red. And I'm going to divide by 4 to cancel the multiplication by 4. So the 4 here and the 4 there will cancel, leaving me x equals 8 divided by 4, which is 2. That's the first problem. Now you could divide everything by 4, but since 10 is not divisible by 4 and 2 is, they have a common factor but not divisible by 4, it's not the best way to do it. On problem number 2, again, we have a constant to take care of. We're going to take care of this -11. I'm going to add 11 to both sides. The 11s will cancel. My equation, my equal sign drops down. I get 25 when I add 11 to 14. I drop down the x divided by -5. Again, I'm just going to change it to a darker blue. I have division. I need to multiply. I'm going to multiply by everything that's in the denominator here. I'm going to put this up a little bit to signify that it's in the numerator and it's multiplying. If it helps, you can put a 1 under it as a denominator. And on the other side, don't forget you have to multiply both sides. Again, you could put the 1 there if you want to. The 5s cancel. The negatives cancel, leaving me x equals, I have a negative times a positive, so I know my answer is negative. 25 times 5 is 125. Now we get to the grouping symbol problems. So when we see that we have a 7 out front that is multiplying the set of parentheses, you could multiply it through. And all of a sudden, this turns into one of these problems up here. Nothing wrong with that, okay? And in this problem, oops, I lost my negative there. In this problem, it's not that bad. Sometimes, though, if these numbers are particularly large, you're looking at some more difficult multiplication problems. So let me show you an alternative method of doing this. If I have multiplication by 7, I can easily divide both sides by 7, especially in cases where the other side is divisible by 7. So that cancels the 7s, leaving me the parentheses, which I no longer need. X minus 2 equals -4. If I add 2 to both sides, I finish it off, and I get -2. In number 4, pretty similar, is you basically treat the top as a parenthesis. If you multiply by this -6 here, over 1, and then times -6 over 1. The negatives cancel, the 6's cancel, and I have x plus 5 equals, some people might have some difficulty with this, so I'm going to zoom in on that and take my time. I know that I could do top times top, which is negative 12, bottom times bottom, which is 3, and I will get negative 4. Or I could have also done it slightly differently. Should still get the same answer, right? So if I say 3 and 6 have a common factor of 3, so if I divide the 3 by 3, I get 1. And if I divide the 6 by 3, I get 2, keeping in mind that that negative does not go away. And I do 2 times a negative 2, which is negative 4. Same answer. That still leaves me with this last step of subtracting 5 from both sides. X equals, the 5's cancel, negative 9. So that's a quick look at solving equations that are two-step equations.